Hi, it's Mrs. Stitches or Sheila. Today's date is November 29th, 2024. This is Flosstube number 78. Hi everyone, welcome to my new subscribers and welcome to all my, I was going to say old friends, but I think instead I'll say my dear friends, my friends who've been with me all along. And hope the new ones stick around for a while. So today is, I got lots to show you. I've been busy. So I'll show you all this stuff and then I'll still be doing some stuff tonight, and tomorrow you won't see that at all. It won't get shown, but that's fine because Sunday I start my Flosstube. Very, very excited. I got plans for my Flosstube. I got plans for 2025. One Flosstuber for City Stitching, Lisa, has been asking for some plans video, so I might just throw some plans in on at the end of this video. Just Lisa, stick around and I will go over some of my 2025 plans. But let's first just do what I've been stitching, because I have been stitching a lot. I have 3 finishes, 3. And my 4th one is very near. I'll probably get it done tonight or tomorrow for sure, easily. So that will be, my 4th one will be my 60th. So right now I'm at 59. I have not updated my finished chart, so I'm not going to show you that. I just realized when I sat down that I hadn't updated it, but probably just on my last one. Probably 59 is not there. I've done some temperature stitching, which has gotten some whips to be worked on. We've had fairly mild temperatures, but we're about to get into a chill, and we might get some snow, so we'll just see about that. That's kind of exciting. Yeah, so let's get to her. I'm excited. I'm going to put that right there so that I can see that, because that's great. So I'm going to just do this in the order that I have stitched it, if I can find it. So first is a finish. This was finish number, I'm going to just see if I can check and see, because I do believe I stitched this one. Yeah, it might be that. Must be that. Okay, I'm going to call this finish number 57, because that's what I believe it is. This was out of the Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition of this year, 2024, and it is called Prim-O-Ween. I think it's by Wrought Iron Stitchery or something like that. But there you go. I did change some colors, of course. I think theirs was a little bit different colors, but there you go. It was a nice little stitch, a little bit more than you actually expect at times, but it was a good stitch. I really, really enjoyed it. I was so close to done. The biggest part is that house. So once I got that house done, it was great. I love the raven and the pumpkins. It was a really, really cute little stitch. Very enjoyable. And next, well, let's just get all my finishes done right away. If I got them here. Not sure if I got them here. They should be here. Yeah, I think one is not here right now, but it might be. Okay. Was this my next one? Yeah, I think this was my next one of my finishes. No, not according to my list there. Oh, I'll show you anyways. This was one that you saw in my whip parade. It is a Teresa Wensler freebie. It is called Future Cast. And I thought I was almost done. I thought all I had to do was the beading. I was wrong. I still had to do this whole tail. I still had some other stitching, I think, in the body area. I had all the Krynic to do. And I had... there was some other stitching that went out on the whole border that I still had to do. It was satin stitches. They are in the corners and all along there. There's like little satin stitches. And then I had the beading. I had at least 6 or 8 hours to work on, but it turned out great. And one really neat thing about this is in the pattern, I'm going to pause you for a second, let the dog in. Okay, so like I was saying, in the pattern, she really encourages you to do your own thing. So she even tells you how to pick a main color for something and then variegated in the fabric and everything. So she goes over a lot in how to be creative to make it your own. after all that, I just followed some of the suggested colors. And then in the back stitching, because you're picking your own color back stitching, she doesn't recommend any color. She just says, keep in mind when you're back stitching is to augment, not overpower, or something to those words. And that was great words to know. So I actually used, instead of a darker color to backstitch, I actually used a lighter color. So it was sort of, there were 3 colors to get this sort of rusty, I don't know what color you call that, like a burnt terracotta type color. There was a lighter one, and I used the lighter one for backstitching. And I think it just turned out great. I really, really like it. So there you go. So that was Future Cast by Teresa Wentzler. I have lots of room still on this fabric, and my idea originally was I had 4 dragon ones, and I was going to put all 4 on here. I still might do that. Of course, it being a Teresa Wentzler, it's a bit more than what you think it'll be. So that was number 58, and I do have that on my tracker here. So 58, it's right there. 58. Now I haven't stitched 59 on here yet. It'll go right there, but I have finished 59. So 59 is here. So this was a whole collection of cards, 4 cards. I got this from as a giveaway from KEB Studio Design Creations. Where are you going? Where are you going? You can go forward. You can go forward. Go on. And so these were Joan Elliott designs, and this is the first card I got done. And it's what's it say? Christmas blessings. Christmas blessings. It was a big stitch. It came with some metallic thread that is absolutely horrendous. I could not stitch with it. This must be the old-fashioned type of metallic thread. It doesn't have any name, but it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I could not stitch with it. My stitches were all bulky. They wouldn't lie flat. I tried splitting it because it was 3 strands. I tried 1 strand. I tried 2 strands. All of them, it got all stringy. It was just disgusting. So I ended up using Krynic. So the ones that were done with the original gold metallic are right up there. And I think also on her wrists. There's that. And then the rest I did all with some Krynic I had, and I started running out, so I switched up the color and did a different color here, just down on the bottom with a green Krynic, which could be like the grass. So there you go. So I think it turned out beautiful. French knots for the eyes, they didn't turn out all that great, but other than that, there's a lot of colors in here. I think there's close to 20 colors, I think. It's pretty beautiful the way they designed this. So once our postal strike is over with, I will then be sending that off to my aunt. I'm going to finish securing it inside the card, but then it'll be off to my aunt. I might try to fix the French knot eye bit. But that was finished number 59. I haven't stitched it on the thing yet, but that was 59. So those were my finishes. So one more to go. You're going to see that in just a few minutes. It's a whip. It will be quick. I got about half of it done last night, so it won't really take that long at all. So next, I'm looking down here because that's where my notes are. Next was my temperature stitching, and I'm doing this sort of like Stitchy Mommy, except I'm in Celsius and she's in Fahrenheit. So I think Jen the Caffeinated Crafter and Stitchy Mommy, and probably lots of others, are just taking the final digits. And so you have 10 projects from numbered 0 to 9. And whatever the final digit of the temperature is, in Celsius, it's our only digit right now, that's what you pick. I'm doing the day before. So I wait till the next day. I go on to our weather network, and you can see what the high and the low was of the temperature of the day before. And that is telling me what I'm going to stitch on that day. So it's really kind of, it's made it fun because I just don't know what I'm going to stitch the next day. So with my temperature stitching, oh, I'm gonna let the dog out now. Oh, there she goes. She's going, I'll just, okay, this is a little bit, but anyways. So I have worked on with my temperature stitching this week. This is 8 days since I last filmed, but 1, 2, 3, 4 different projects. And one of them I worked on 3 times, which was great to make some progress. I'm doing half an hour stitching. In the new year, I might change it to 100 stitches or half an hour or whatever I feel like. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But let's start showing you some of the temperature stitching I've done. So, the first one I'm going to show you is one of my favorites. This will be a finish next year, I'm hoping. Rosewood Manners, Language of the Flowers. And got lots done. I worked on it twice. Since I've started the temperature stitching, I've worked on it, I think, total 5 times. So I was working down here. And so what have I done? I did, oops, no, I'm not down there. I'm up here. I worked on, I need a board. Here's my board. Okay, what I worked on is, I had done this before. I worked on this letter here, which is funny because as I was stitching it, I thought it was a different letter. I can't remember what letter I thought it was, but it's an M for mugwort. I think I thought it was like a U or W, wugwort or something like that. But anyways, or H, I thought it was H, hugwort. I thought it was hugwort. No, it's mugwort. And then it says happiness underneath. And then I started on a flower here. That's all I worked on for 2 times. I think the other time I finished up what was in this one here. So there you go. But making progress. Just, it's fun. I'm really, really enjoying this. It's really, really good to get out. Okay, so that was twice I worked on that. Oh, I gotta go grab something right there. Let's see if I can reach. I can. Okay, so then I worked on this twice. This is Frederick the Literate. Let's see if I can find the picture. It's a picture. This also has a metallic thread in it, so I'm going to see how, I think it's metallic is a lot easier to work with, but I don't think I've worked with it yet. Oh, I have. I used it in a blend, and it's perfectly fine. So Frederick the Literate, this is a Dimensions kit. I got this at 1, 2, 3 stitch, I believe. I'm doing this not on the kit fabric. Everything else is the kit stuff. But I'm doing this with one of my Fabric of the Months by Kaylee, the sewing shop. The count's a bit smaller, which may or may not cause me problems in the future. But I worked on this twice, like I said. And I'm just over here. And so what did I do? Let's see if I can see. I worked on bringing some of the spine of the book down. I worked over here. I did a mistake over here, so I had to frog that. And I did this whole little section here. That's a little mouse. Haven't outlined it yet, but there you go. Getting progress. Might not see these for a while because I think we're going to get colder temperatures. So I think you're going to start seeing a whole different group of stitches than these guys. These guys are all about like the 6 to 9s, and I think we're going to get down to freezing. So there you go. Okay. Next I was going to show you, I worked a bit on my, this is not, no, let's finish the temper stitching first. Okay, Heart of Flowers. Heart of Flowers. Where are you, Heart of Flowers? I may have put Heart of Flowers away. I'm going to pause and find that. I did not put it away. It was here. So I worked on this 3 times. this was actually, so I worked we had a provincial election, and I worked the provincial election, which meant I had one day that was completely occupied with classes. I had to take 9 hours of classes. And then I had one day occupied with the actual election. It's a long day when you do an election. I've already applied for the federal election, so it's a long day. I kind of always get a little stressed when it's coming up. You never know what to expect. After it's done, somebody says like childbirth, you kind of forget all the parts you didn't like and you get enthused. I like being part of the process. So this is my heart of flowers, and I worked mostly over here. So I did all of this here, and I think I brought some of the greenery down and the greenery down there. So I'm kind of trying to work on this big flower here that is in the center. I probably will eventually, I think next time I might back stitch the butterfly, or I might also go over here to try to, I want to kind of work top down, but there you go. That's my heart of flowers right now. It is a Lenarte kit that I won at Stitch North. I'm very fortunate at times. Okay, and then the last one was just this morning. And as the temperature's gone down, this was one we have not seen yet. So this was for 6 degrees. And it is Christmas Jewel, which is a Just Nan, which I was hoping to finish this month. It'll get finished next year. That's what I said last year, but it'll get finished next year. So this is Christmas Jewel by Just Nan. And I am close. I'm just not there yet. So I got good progress in the half an hour I worked on it this morning. I was actually pretty pleased. So what I did this morning was I finished off this white thing, and I did all this white work right there. So right there. So I'm getting there. So once I finish this final square, then I'm going to be doing, I think, mostly embellishments. There's beads and there's specialty threads. So I think that's to do all in between them, connecting them all. And there's some stuff inside them too. So, but it's coming along. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. That half hour went by fast, and I felt super productive. So it's going to be a good finish next year. One that I've been working on for a while, and one that I'm going to be very satisfied in finishing. So, okay, so those were my temperature stitches. Now let's carry on with some of my other whips. So I have, this is the Sewing Shop, Kaylee. Ooh. Artwork is by Heather Kramer, and this is called Biopunk Girl Gang 2, but I call her Kelly Green. And I'm trying to do 1% a month. I'm behind this month. So right now I'm at 0.63%. So I still have 0.37 to go. I have other scheduled stitching today and tomorrow, so I got lots tomorrow to do. If I don't get it today, this is going to be put off to December, and I just will do 1% between the 2 months. But this is where I'm at, and I was mostly working. It's hard to remember where you work because it's just the way it works, but I think I worked in here, and I've been trying to fill in this. I'm not quite sure where I worked. This is all her hair, and I think that's a flower in her hair, and I think there's something else coming up, but that's what I mostly worked on. I don't even think I'm halfway across the top. I might be close to halfway across the top, because that's going to be the width. And this fabric came with this. I haven't counted it out, but just to give you an idea, because I think I'm at 7.63%. So it's a big one. It's a big one. So that's why I'm trying to do 1% a month to hopefully finish it in under 10 years. Okay. Now, I worked a little bit, but not a lot. on. Where are you? Where are you? Well, while I got this here, why don't I just show you this? That's funny. It should be right here. One of my dailies is something I charted myself. It's a photograph I took of a lighthouse here on our island called the Boar's Head Lighthouse. It supposedly looks like a boar's head from the water, but not from land. But I kind of been working on this, so I'm continuing along. So I'm all caught up right now. It's done today's. So there you go. It's all blue sky. Eventually there'll be a lighthouse in it and some foreground. But right now, I don't know if there's any water in the background. There probably is. But I should enjoy the blue sky while I have it, because once I get into the others, they're going to be very confetti heavy. I just know the way it goes. Okay, that's that one. We'll just shove that one in there. And it should be here. Okay, let me just, I'm going to pause for just a second. Always when I pause, I actually find it. So I'm going to just do that. See, I paused and I found everything. I got all my next 3 projects to show you. So unfortunately, I was hoping to get a lot more done on this, but I didn't yet. But this is from 5 Seasons of Quilts. This is Hirschner's, and I'm right now working on this one here, which is the Christmas quilt. And oh, I so wanted to get further on this. I'm on the smallest quilt right now on this little stretch, but I didn't get as much as I hoped to get done. But that happens sometimes. So let me just put this on a board to hold it better. Trying to not unfold all the fabric because it's a big piece of fabric. But there we go. So right now I'm just on this 3rd quilt. This is sort of the bottom of it, so you can see how it is the smallest quilt, but they're all full coverage, so there's still a lot to go. So I think I also did some of the flowery here, and the next underneath this is presents, and yeah, so that's what I kind of worked on a little bit. I only did, I'm gonna say only a couple hours on it, and usually when I work on it I put a lot of hours on it, so it felt like it only got a partial. That was because of the election. That was on election day. I usually work on it on the 26th, and that was our election day. It did not get much work done. I was pretty exhausted. Next is, I'll show you what's going to be my 60th finish. So this is by KEB Studio Creations. She has an Etsy shop and a Flosstube. Please check out her Flosstube if you haven't. I've been shouting her out quite a bit because she's trying to reach 400 subscribers before her 40th birthday, which is in February next year. She's at about 320 right now. So if you thought about subscribing to her, or you just want to help out a fellow Flosstuber, go check her out. I love her designs. I got lots of her designs. I bought lots of her patterns as PDFs, and I got I've won giveaways, and I got this, a plaid series, which I have given away. So this is Plaid Winter, which I started last year for January and February, and now I got my December left, which is this one here. And I really enjoy the way she charted these in the style. So I think this is the right way up. Oh, let me move my big old needle minder out. That is such a big needle minder. There we go. So that's the plaid holly. So all I got left, I did this last night and this morning, is I got 2 more sprigs of green. One goes there, and I think one goes there. And so it really shouldn't take very long at all. And that will be finished number 60. That's going to be great. So beautiful, beautiful. Love, love, love it. Enjoy. I had to actually stop myself this morning because I had to get to my other stitching. And then the last thing to show you is, as you know, I'm going to do Flossmas. I got 2 advent calendars that I'll be opening up each day. I'm going to set up a Christmas tree in the room that we're remodeling. It's a work zone right now, but that's fine. And I will, like I said, open up my Advent things each day. And the other thing I'm doing is Paint with Stitches, who I'm a test stitcher with, had an Advent calendar stitch thing. I don't know what you call them, but she calls hers Frosty Advent Calendar. And so she released the border, and this is the border. And then tomorrow I get my first square. She's starting it early so that it finishes December 23rd, so that people would have the 24th and 25th, which works out perfectly for me. So I can stitch it and show you the first square on the first. I can always show you them on the day. So I'm going to be stitching them the day before. So obviously the first square is going to be up here, and I believe they go across 1 to 5 and then 5 rows. I'm not positive on that. But they're all snowman themed. They're all little snowman scenes. And yeah, so I got the border done last night. And actually this shows the color pretty good. It's a little bit darker blue. People hold it back. It's a little bit more blue, but it's an opalescent, and I don't think I like stitching on opalescents. They're a bit of a bother. It's because this Akele fabric, which is gorgeous. I think it's called Elsa's Soiree. But yeah, it's really gorgeous, all shiny. You probably can't see that, but the weave gets tighter, so it actually is quite noticeable. I had switched in her club from a 28 to a 32. In this case, I wish I'd been still in the 28. So, and yeah, so so I'll be working on that. Like I said, tomorrow I'll get the first square, and I'll have that show each day. I also I'm going to work on one of the stockings I showed you. Santa won by a mile. The snowman family only got 1 vote. Santa got all the votes. And I talked to Karen at KB Studio Creations, who had passed along. She saw my video, and she didn't realize that the stuff she had passed on to me, she got them from an estate, and she didn't realize that the stocking had already been started. But when she told me that it was someone that had passed away, that made it so much more special. Like, to actually finish somebody who's passed away stitching to me is like the greatest honor you can do. So I'm definitely going to be working on the Santa stocking, maybe finish it, we'll see. I have another Christmas stitch from last year that I started called Christmas Wreath. It's a Stitch Rovia, so I want to work on that a bit. I also got from Freebie Table a whole bunch of Mill Hill kits, but they're like the leftover bits, so there's no fabric, and some threads and some beads. So I might work on those, and I might just have to pick some fabric to stitch on those for. So I haven't fully worked those out yet. And I thought I'm going to do a little get to know me thing. So I'm going to write up a bunch of questions and answer those on camera. So that's my goal today, is to write those up, 25 of them. And another thing I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and set out 25 different tops. Not from what I've done today, because this might be one of them, or the top underneath might be one of them. But I'm going to try and have 25 different top outfits. The bottoms are going to be the same for the most part. Just to see if I can actually showcase 25 different outfits. So I'm going to have fun with it. I will be putting up decorations on the tree each day. And they'll be short videos, hopefully only 5 to 10 minutes long, I believe. That's usually what I like for a Flossmas, but some might get a bit longer. We'll see. So I think that's everything. This is a short one, but oh, plans. So that's my Flossmas plans. Sorry, Lisa, I almost forgot about 2025 plans. 2025. I got it right here. So do I have any other Flossmas plans that I didn't include there? Oh, that doesn't even show my Flossmas plans. So here, Frosty Advent. Every other day I'll do a Mill Hill and maybe try to get it done. The stocking, Christmas wreath, and and on Christmas Eve, Darlene Dion, she's another Flosstuber. She does every year a Prairie School Santa on Christmas Eve. She starts it. So I'm going to follow suit and do the same thing. So thank you, Darlene, for that suggestion. So 2025 plans. So one of my primary ones, and you heard about this in the whip parade, is I want to do 2,500 stitches on every whip I have. And I'm going to make them a focus of the week. So I will pick a whip for the week, and that will be get that 2,500 stitches done in that week. There might be some weeks that are going to be a bit difficult just because of the way the dailies or I got things set like on the 29th. That's how come I knew it was 29th today. I do work my leap year thing, or on the 13th and 30th, I work on a spooky one or whatever. So there's certain days that are already slotted for certain things, but I have to make it work. There is 7 days in the week, and I don't have 7 days slotted in a row. So another thing is New Year's Eve. I'm thinking of doing a 24 hours of cross stitch and doing the 12 by 12, but I'm going to do that for 24 hours. So I'm going to start one and then work on it for 2 hours versus 1 hour. So it's actually a 12 by 24, I guess, or something like that. So, and then in the new year, I want to finish each one of those per month. So there'll be 12 new starts on New Year's Eve, and those will get finished per each month. I'd like to have 25 finishes next year. So it's supposed to minimally. I can have more if I want, and I probably will have more for this year, but 60 was my goal, and I'm going to make 60. So 25 next year, there'd be the 12, and then you'll find out. And then I also will have a finish a month of, maybe, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see the rest. I got still working on that. I also bought some bugs similar to Crafty Emily. And so I'm thinking of working on those. There's also Max Pigeon and Halloween. So there's some things that are kind of medium small. Every Friday, I am going to make my FFO Friday. So obviously with 60 finishes this year, I have multiple boxes of finished stuff that isn't fully finished. So Fridays for 52 weeks, 52 projects will be fully finished each Friday. So every week you will see a fully finished. The fully finished may be a pillow, it might be a flat fold, it might be a frame, or it might be part of a quilt. I'm thinking of trying to make a big, huge panel quilt, and that's part of a lot of the smalls, but I haven't fully worked that out. It also might be project bag. That's the other thing. Or even just a bag. That could be the other thing. Obviously, next year I'll be working on my Haid Sal and continue with my temperature stitching. I love that so far, so that's really great. Want to do 25 finishes. Of those would be the 12 monthly, but then there's also the 12 starts. We'll see. I might be flexible on that. And then there's 10 bugs I bought, and then I could get 3 more. One from Darlene Dion. She's doing a really neat, she's a designer too. She has an Etsy shop. She's doing a really neat thing where she likes just like the houses, the small type houses. And she does a focus on a color. So she actually makes the address of the house the DMC color. And I won one. I won 580. I actually went, woohoo, yelled out when she called out my name because I really wanted it. I could have bought the pattern, which I have bought patterns from her. But yeah, so anyways, that one is one of the extra ones. And then I also have from her too, I bought her, she had sure signs of spring, sure signs of summer, sure signs of autumn, sure signs of winter. I did the spring and the summer. I didn't finish the autumn and winter. So those 3 will add to my 24 of the other 2, or 22 to make 25. I got the 25 semi planned out. Carry on with my temperature stitching, as I said. Next year, as opposed to Flossmas, I want to get back to do a Halloween one, a Flosstober. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I'm going to call it Flosstober. So I'm thinking like every year, 1 year do a Halloween focus, and then 1 year do a Christmas focus. Never do the same because they're total countdowns. Gonna continue with my snow day stitching. Jimmy, he will probably get done, and if he does get done, I have a backup one, and that is Arctic Animals by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I haven't showed you much of that. I think I forgot to show it in my whip parade. I found it this morning. It is here. It is right here. So the whole thing will be out, I think, in February, and then it's going to be easier to stitch on. I didn't like having to upload it each time and cross things out, but that's how far I got. I did the first 3 releases, and I think there's a total of 9 releases, so that's pretty cute. Yeah. So, and I'm doing it in Scott Gaelic, the animal's name. So I kind of fell off the wagon on that one, but it's still here, so I still can do it. And then the last thing, which is kind of insane, and I probably won't do this, but it's fun to dream about it right now, is picking 6 of my big projects that I'd like to get some work done on. I calculated out what 25% of what is left would be, and to make that a goal to get that done. And so I would have, because there's 6, I would pick 2 months. Maybe what I would do is do 1 month on one, and then maybe just do a rotation and then go back to it and do another rotation. So if I still needed the extra time. So allow 2 months, they might not be 2 consecutive months, to work on it, to try to get however much 25% of the stitches left is. So I calculated that all out somewhere. Somewhere. And so that is a goal. So lofty goals as always. But hey, I got 60 finishes done this year. So I think 52 fully finishes might be harder than 60 finishes, but not really. Sometimes it only takes less than an hour to fully finish. It really depends on what you're doing. So, I think it's once you get organized and such, it's not so bad. So there you go, Lisa. There is some plans for 2025. That's a heck of a lot of plans. And I'm going to try no buy 25, but my husband suggested, because the whole year, it's unrealistic sometimes to think to do anything like that for a whole year. So what I might try is just do it for 60 days first, or 50 days, or a month at a time, or whatever. Just try to do it in small steps and see what I can get. So I think I'll try that, and we'll see how well I do. Maybe I'll even keep track of it. We'll see. I don't know. So that's everything for me. I will see you in 2 days when we start Flossmas, and I'm kind of winging it, but kind of planning it. So we'll just see how it goes. So take care, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye.